Alright, it's April 21st, 2022. Few laying hens, one starting to set half serious. I'll be putting some mountain eggs under her when she starts setting serious. Now, I got 5 pens down here with Mern's pairs in them. These are all 4x8s with padded, well, these two have got padded ceilings. And I just cleaned them, rained, wet them a little bit, but I fluffed it up around the edges to dry it. So another pair of Merns. They usually start laying here in Maine around mid-May. Sometimes some of the hens will, I was looking at that hen there, sometimes some of the hens won't get going until June, but they usually lay through most of August, sometimes into early September, sometimes even right up to the last egg is fertile. So I've got these 3 pens right here with Mern's pairs. It's a friendly little hen right there. I like when those roosters strut. Look at that. Scary. Scary rooster. Alright. There's another one. And I don't like putting them in these without having the tops all foamed. But I'm gonna do it. I didn't intend to have all these pens for Merns, but now I do. So I've got 4 empties here. We got a couple more decent days with some sun, make sure everything's all dried out real good. I'm gonna slap some water seal to the floors, and I'm gonna go up on the Augusta Road and order some carpet foam, crawl in there and staple it up. I hate doing that. But so I got 4 here empty, and I might swap those over into them and then do the others before the breeding season gets going, because I don't want to disturb them. I need at least 4 or 5 down here for to grow out a bunch of Merns in. So I plan on raising a shit pot of them this year. And going up on this end, yeah, I got my duck pen emptied out and drying. I'm gonna till the soil up in it. I got some bantams up in those pens and a few extra elegant hens and a pair. And washed my truck the other day, so that'll probably make it rain. And just a couple things, get the boat ready, and I'll be putting it in the water. And then I put the ducks in here in the meantime. I was working sand and buoys right here the other day, and I had the ducks out free range, and I heard Drake and Dewberry came running. I ran around the corner, and a fox had dilly-dally in his mouth, and I went at him, and he dropped her and ran. But she's doing good. I brought her in and treated her wounds, and she got one over her wing and under her wing. Grabbed her right there, and I rocked her in the rocking chair. She put her head right on my shoulder and patted her, and then she wanted to go back out, so she's been doing pretty good. So I got them in here temporarily till I get this all spruced up for a while. Now over here, I've got a few empties where I had a lot of mountains that I sold. I had mountains in all of these young mountains that I raised last year, but I ended up finally selling them all, so I stuck a few Bensons in here, and you know, they like those for their summer pens. They seem to like them better than the 4x8s with the solid floors. They like that hutch, and I like them in these better. It's easier to catch them and easier to clean them. They run down the other end and don't have to worry about them flying out. Now in here, I don't normally do this, but I had a bunch of young mountains in here too, and I got 2 Mearns males there that are 3/4 wild, and they're mean little bastards. I put them in one of those 4x5.5s, which is normally plenty big for a pair of Mearns, and they went right toward the hens and damn near scalped one of them. So I put them in solitary confinement for a while on a 4x8, and they were nuts. Every time I went near them, they'd go berserk, pound all over the place. So I took them and put them up in here. It's a nice big roomy pen, 16 feet long, hutch on each end, shavings, hay, pine branches, shelves to perch on. See that one up there? It's kind of shady. I don't know if you can see it from the picture, but and I put a couple of hens. Hens ran right up to them, and the male strutted, and they were impressed, and they've been all buddy since. I'm gonna keep an eye on them, and normally I don't like Mearns on a wire floor, but I trimmed them, and they got so much room in here, and a couple of nice big hutches. It ain't like that other guy on there with his little dirty coil jails. And in here I put what few old timers I got left out to pasture. I just got one hen, Pee Wee. She still laid good last year, so if I do get a couple out of her, that'll be good. I've got a few of the old males, and I got her hiding in there somewhere, so that's good. And then I've got my all I kept was a 13 bird mountain flock for this season. That's all I wanted. I'm kind of burnt out the mountains, and I'm focusing on the Mearns more this year. I'll raise a few, but that's it. And I got an egg in there. 13 bird flock, and they started laying on the 13th. Got a pair of elegants in there. Raised a bunch of young bantams and those more setters. And yeah, can't reach it. Let's see. Yeah. 13 bird flock, and they started laying on the 13th. So I'm going to set my first batch today. One hen here taking off, and another hen there, kind of slow, but I'm going to set my first 10 eggs. And I got a few people that want some. Once they get laying a little better, I'll send them out. That hen's got a little black band on her. She's a young one last year, but she's a proven real good setter and good mother, so I put that band on her to mark her. And there's some more in here. There's one there, setting half serious. I think in another week she'll be broody. I'll candle these eggs in the incubator and put the good ones under. Usually they're all good. I don't want to brood any if I can help it, as far as mountains go. And I've got Mearns and all of these pens over here, all the 4x8s. Everything up here's got padded ceilings. 2 extra males in there. It's good to keep a couple extras in case one isn't doing his thing. They got a white band on them, and I only put that on them for a marker because the white band means they were a Bantam hen raised one. I just did that for the hell of it. And that's my original stock mixed with a Canadian blood. And these here, that one of the green band is the offspring of this 2-year-old half Canadian, half Mexican male with the orange band. Bred to one of my originals. That's Tiny Hen. She lays a nice big egg. And then in these 6 double-deckers, 3 double-deckers, 6 sections, there's 6 more pairs. So I've got 17 breeder pairs in all. And this is it. This is what you see. I got a few more bantams, and And yeah, there's a pair of elegants in there. And I got some more young bantam hens. I got a lot of setters. More Merns I can raise on the bantams and a few mountains. It's going to be great. So. This camera light's flashing on it. It's probably going to run out pretty soon. But one thing I don't know if I'll be doing anymore after this video. But I wrote a post on my Facebook page about that goddamn dud in Michigan and all his con followers. How can anybody take a look at this place and a place like Mike Coughlin's down in Florida with many nice, big, roomy, clean pens and take a look at his place, which is basically the back of his garage, for instance. Say this is the back of his garage. 3 little sections of dirty pens here, 3 stacking sections of dirty pens there, and a little cobbled together mountain pen. Everything's cobbled together. Drills holes all through his garage, big rat's nest, plus the bucks of wire all balled up. All kind of dials into padlocks on every pen. You can't even put a hasp on the door level. They're all just slapped on there every which way. And took a picture of one. Got his first egg. Well, because those were in one of his garage pens and with artificial lighting, because you don't get Merns eggs in early April in Michigan. You know, the weather's the same as it is here in Maine, and that's never happened. And he claims not to be a puppy mill breeder like the bozo in Ohio, but he is. He's just the same. But the hen had a big wound on a toe, big scab and a bloody wound, and you know, he's always telling people, oh, how I didn't know what I was talking about, and you don't really need to raise them on shavings, and it works so much better. It really does. If, you know, keep them clean. He's too much of a cheapskate and too lazy to, you know, to buy shavings and to clean his 9 little sections in his 5 or 6 little 2x2 cubicles in his garage. And I really don't want to go on much more about that guy. I'm sick of him. And everybody's, well, he's got his con flunkies on his Facebook page that love that setup. They just love it. That, you know, they look at mine and then they look at his. It's day and night. And they look at Mike Coughlin's, which is a palace, and you know, that idiot will get 10 times the likes on Facebook. That's why I'm getting done with Facebook. It just doesn't reach the type of audience that really knows anything about exotic quail or is serious about getting into them. So yeah, that's about it. Got a little bit of cleaning up out here to do. I already did the spring raking underneath, and I just got a little picking up to do, and maybe adjusting the blocks under the legs. Winter, snow and ice heaves them up, and I hit some of the snow blower. I got to go up and through every path, and a lot of work, but it's well worth it when you're raising a lot of birds. I had a good season last year, and I might have made the most money last year. Ran into this year. In 2022 I was still shipping out a lot of birds that I raised last year, but it's been good. So, well, that's it. I'll put the next video on when I got some chicks in the brooders.